discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us. Check out IWC and listeners like you. Support this show at Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect...
It is the Monday Mayhem Warriors, and I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm here. Touching everything, the weird wall or everything. I'm here. I made it, guys. I'm back. I'm not on a bench in the desert or California or I guess on this show I was just like holed up in the corner of the RV because I couldn't be outside in the cold or whatever the case may be. But we're here. Mad Mike is here as well. He's still in New York.
I was actually on my way to a remote truck stop just so you could feel like nothing has changed. And then I realized there's a coronavirus.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't do that.
It's still out there. It's still out there. Yes, yes. We did do, and we did quarantine on wheels as much as we could. Again, only going to stores and truck stops for supplies. So we did have our own bathroom with us, so that really helped mitigate things a little bit.
Don't poop on the bus.
Well, no, it was that last day after we did the final dump, and it says, nobody poop on the bus!
Yeah,
So,
final dump.
yes. Also, back with us, because he's the Christmas light extraordinaire, the one that kept the show afloat over the last 3 weeks. Mainstream Matt's on the line as well.
So much happening, Sorg. So much happening in my life. And none of it involving coming over to the studio anymore.
Yay!
At least not for the time being.
Yay!
I don't get any credit for being on this show while you were gone, Sorg. Okay.
I want to let
You
you
just
know
do
that
the same thing you
I have
always do.
Sorg, I have a confession to make.
No credit.
I unplugged everything and moved all the cables around.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Hoping that
Is that why I
you were
couldn't
able to
find
put
things?
it back together.
I was looking for something. Well, I did notice. I just noticed today, and I've been here. Like I've been in the studio, Thursday as of Thursday night. I came back, and only today, while we were sitting here doing Fishing Without Bait this evening, that I look over and see Sasha Banks was wearing something new. Sasha Banks was wearing something new, and I believe, does that say? Wait, what is it?
That's my poll worker sticker.
Poll
so she
worker
should be
inspector?
the majority inspector.
Majority inspector is apparently Sasha Banks over here in the corner.
Can we put a name tag on her that says Casca Reeves?
Her
Mandalorian name, Matt.
I just put a Mando.
Oh, so she's not the other person.
Other person? What other person?
She's not Sabine Wren. She's not. Yeah, but she's Casca Reeves.
Mm-hmm. Which sounds like an NXT jobber.
Kinda, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyways, wrestling happened tonight, and I should probably get in the chat room and see what you guys are doing out there.
Before wrestling happened, I have a Lego update.
Hot damn, a Lego update.
Sorg, the burrow is finished.
Fantastic.
It's great. Like, the best thing about it, if you know about Harry Potter, this is purposefully off center. Like, it was built in that way where it's off center. It's so great.
Love it.
I love it.
So,
but yeah, Burrow, good Lego build. I highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
By the way, other odd thing that I just noticed, I just posted that weird moment. You guys remember when I had the Pokemon Go players were behind my camper and I asked them what their favorite wrestler was? I just put a clip up of it and I went to reshare and it's tagged with results about the U.S. election.
Weird. You'd think that was done.
How did we... But also, it has nothing to do with the election. We're talking about wrestling. But, okay.
Sorg, some of the stuff we say here might be disputed.
Apparently. We've already run a couple people off of this show with our quote facts. Anyways, oh, damn, it's one of those nights. Let's talk about wrestling, please, right now. Matt, you just completed a project.
Yep. This goes back a ways. It was a little bit over a month ago when I went on a wild, insane rant after watching Lana win a Battle Royal with the classic hidden opponent finish. And my brain had convinced me that this was happening way too much in WWE. So, but the strange thing that happened was both you and Mad Mike were looking at me like, why are you so upset about this? So I had to go and like find out if I was the crazy one or if you guys are the crazy ones.
We're kind of worried about you.
Good news. Neither of us is crazy. It had not been happening much lately, but there was definitely a peak moment about maybe a year or so ago where it was happening a lot more, and that probably is what made me extra agitated. Anyway, the hidden opponent finish, now that we've seen it in back-to-back Battle Royals, Lana and now The Miz, you two can find out exactly how often it's happening in WWE sanctioned Battle Royals by going to WrestlingMayhemShow.com, in which I dragged myself through the result of every WWE Battle Royal dating back to 2015 to determine if there was a hidden opponent finish in those matches. And we got numbers, we got stats, we got a little bit of math, we got some names, we got some clips. It's a fun little ride. I might beef it up. I might just put the whole spreadsheet in there later, Sorg, but I wanted to get it done before we came on here at 11 o'clock Eastern.
There's a fun fact. I don't know if it's in there. The hidden opponent finish was the reason for Asuka's first loss. That was Carmella.
Was that like Carmella. The NXT house show, or was that the?
No, that was on NXT TV. That was when Carmella won the #1 contendership to go after Bayley when she was NXT champion.
So I love the headlines.
There is a there's a clip. I didn't drag it up because I was, like I said, I wanted to get it done by 11 o'clock. But there's a way back. There's an NXT Women's Battle Royal, and there was a double hidden opponent finish with Eva Marie and Billie Kay both going for the hidden opponent finish, and it doesn't work for either of them, I think.
It's a damn shame.
I love it. There's a headline in here of defining peak hidden opponent. So lots of clips, including apparently.
Let's be fair. Peak hidden opponent is when Santino almost won the Royal Rumble. That's peak hidden opponent. That's peak.
I'm gonna say the Royal Rumbles because they feel like their own separate animal.
That's
so we
fair.
just did standard Battle Royals for this one, but I get what you're going at. But that was a moment in time. I'm looking at volume on this one, so that's kind of how I define the peak hidden opponent period. And there's some, we've all seen it. Someone vanishes, you forget they were there, then you're down to two people. It's getting really exciting. One person beats the other one. Usually it's a really good, closing stretch between these two folks, and one person wins, and you're like, hey, and then this other person shows up. And then they ruin it all. But yeah, it was fun. I've seen a lot of Battle Royal finishes recently. And some of them are a lot of fun. Some of these hidden opponent attempts. I don't know, Mad Mike, you might remember this from the WrestleMania in MetLife. Both Battle Royals had a hidden opponent attempt, but poorly executed on both parts.
I feel like any hidden opponent with a celebrity kind of nullifies it because it's a celebrity. They're not really gonna be in there the whole time.
Yeah, it's a nice cover.
I mean, it's still it's a tactic, and you know what? I think it definitely counts. So
okay.
The real funny one is in the women's one from that WrestleMania, how Carmella is like perfectly positioned to just hit an opponent, chuck Sarah Logan right out of the ring, but she doesn't. She's just kind of like, hey, what's up? And then they go through like a closing sequence. So yeah, poorly executed hidden opponent tactics. Hard to watch sometimes.
That's because New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's why.
But I thought Jersey didn't care how they won as long as they won.
So they say that now because look at the Jets.
Wow. So what happened tonight on Monday Night Raw?
Oh,
I watched half of it. It seemed interesting. Again, on the side.
Raw was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. Raw was pretty good.
So I had on in the background the little bit of the title match with the New Day in the Hurt Business.
Yep.
That looked interesting. Again, just kind of on the background while some stuff was going on here in the studio. And that was fun. Going into it looked like a lot of the matches in the latter half of the show were just great matches. The Alexa Bliss Nikki thing
Cross.
was interesting. The Peekaboo Fiend at the end of the show was a lot of fun with Randy Orton. So I did miss. So we are doing a triple threat next week. We're doing qualifiers for a triple threat for Drew McIntyre's championship. Can you break down what? Because not keeping up with things tonight. Who was out there and what is our triple threat now?
Basically, the night started with our boy Adam Pearce in the ring with all of Team Raw. And he said these guys, that they had a clean sweep. They deserve to be rewarded. And he's like, okay, pitch me. Who deserves to go after Drew? And, there was talking. And then Braun, for some reason, went rabid and just started screaming.
Okay.
And he headbutted Adam Pearce.
Oh, gee.
Which caused him to call Drew McIntyre Drew McInfart later in the night.
Oh, okay.
That's a true thing. And Adam Pearce was like, okay, so Braun doesn't get a present.
He got the lump of coal, didn't he?
Yeah, basically. So then Randy Orton is like, hey, don't I get a shot? And Adam Pearce is like, I'll take it under advisement. And MVP is like, hey, listen, Bobby Lashley, only champion that won last night's Survivor Series, maybe he should get a present. And Adam Pearce was like, okay, here's what we'll do. 3 presents, 3 matches. The winners face off in a triple threat next week. And it was Matt Riddle versus Sheamus, which was...
Get his name right.
No, I'm not doing that.
His name is Riddle.
No. All right, fine. It was Riddle versus Sheamus O'Shaughnessy.
Mm-hmm.
And great match. Then you had Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley, which was a nice teaser for stuff, I think. Maybe. And it was a good match. And then we had our boy Uncle Alan against Cousin Randall. and I have to say this. They've been so good with The Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
They've been so good getting the right camera angles, but they missed. They missed for a split second.
Wait. Did they miss as bad as the R-Truth gobbledygooker stopping before the cameras went off last night?
I haven't watched the pre-show yet.
It is hilarious. It is.
But,
they do the stuff at the desk. They're running the long way down the arena. The camera's still zooming to follow them. The gobbledygooker has lost his feet and picked them up, and they're getting They're getting that to the curtain to disappear, and they just kind of stop and start slapping each other on the back.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. That's.
I tell you what, you hate to see a production slump.
Yeah, you
WWE.
do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
but
because even during Taker last night, there were a couple of misfires, and you just really wanted that to just get that right, and even the littlest thing in that, you're just
rest in pee-pee. Rest in pee-pee.
Yeah.
But the little slip up, there was definitely a point where you just saw red and black tights just scream over the barricade ready to set up for the next spot. If you watch it back, it's just woohoo! Them old Duke boys are at it again.
Hey, real quick, chat room. Brandon is going on and on about Adam Pearce, the general manager.
He's not the general manager.
And Brandon, you know we love you here, but we got to pump the brakes on Adam Pearce, man. I mean,
yeah.
They've given him a catchphrase too. And
wait, what's his catchphrase?
That is official. That's the catchphrase.
Oh no!
You know how I know it's the catchphrase? Because he got put into a recap package. And I was like, T-shirt's coming.
This is what I missed. This is what I missed. Is this the new John Laurinaitis?
I was like, I'm kind of liking like GM free Monday Night Wrestling.
I miss the GM. I miss the GM. I'm sorry, I do. I never thought
it's not that you don't need like the GM to be like a constant presence. You know, you just need that sweet spot. You need Jack Tunney. You just need someone to just swing in every few weeks and be like, you know what?
Hold on.
We got to put up this.
Maybe we can do a recount. Is Jack Tunney still president?
I don't know.
As far as I know, he never lost one.
No.
That's fair. No, Gorilla Monsoon was interim president. Or was he commissioner? I forget.
He was impeached by Vader.
No, he was embalmed by Vader. That was an embalming.
Jeez.
But I like all of the Bray stuff, the Bray and Alexa stuff. It's so working. Mm-hmm. Every bit of it. It's so working. The match with Alexa and Nikki was well done. I because this is the first time we've seen Alexa wrestle.
I was wondering because I saw the entrance and I'm like,
on Raw.
It's like I'm like, has she had a match yet?
No, this was her first match since she got to Raw.
Interesting.
And before when she was wrestling on SmackDown, she wasn't fully with the Fiend. She was like being turned. She was like,
she was in process.
Yeah.
She was
marinating.
She was Bray baking.
Yeah. Wow. That is an unfortunate term. What's up, JoJo? Anyway,
the swamp magic had not yet fully kicked in.
Yeah, seriously. But I love the take on how she did this match. I thought that was really fun. Like my favorite thing, doing the hand slap thing and saying I win. I loved it. I'm like, that's the most old school childish game you can ever have. But and just, you know what's gonna be really weird? When Randy Orton and Nikki Cross team up. That's gonna be real weird.
Yeah, because it's kind of inevitable right now, isn't it?
I would think so. Mm-hmm. And I kind of hope it's against like Overalls Bliss and Sweater Vest Bray.
I love it. Yeah.
Because I'm still convinced we're getting like a full-on The Fiend Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
I'm convinced we're still getting it. I don't know when, but I'm convinced we're still getting it.
I'm looking forward to it. It gives me something to and I didn't even see it. I saw it just on the slide that they had a segment earlier in the night with the Funhouse. So I need to catch up with that too. So. Matt, we forgot. We should have opened the show. Guys, raise your glasses. Pour one out for the homie Friendship Frog. Friendship Frog?
Friendship Frog. May he rest
barely even knew him.
May he rest in peace. Matt, we got to see his whole life story.
Rest in peace. Get right.
Yes. But Friendship Frog, we hardly knew ye.
Jeez.
Sorg, you need to watch the Funhouse.
Well, I need to catch up on my Funhouse. I'm not up on the lore right now, so.
Jeez. Or just watch the last month of Funhouses.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It might be worthwhile.
Oh, it will be.
The
Funhouse has been great.
I've caught up on exactly one NXT since I got back, so. And I got to watch Dark. I got to watch Dark because friend of the show, Lady Frost, is on it. And Airwolf got signed. Airwolf was awesome in Warrior. So, anyways.
Cool.
I felt bad. So they sent me, I don't know if this was an internal thing or if this was like to the fans as well, but they sent me what's your top match of Warrior Wrestling kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know anything but these 3 shows I worked in September. So click, 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 click. So, like, I literally have never seen another match from this. So, other than like a little bit of Beastman and Scramble from like I don't know, August or something. But, anyways, I'm sorry. That was a weird one of the many interesting things going on as I'm trying to get back into things and unbury my email. So, yeah. Oh, speaking of which, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I felt like I had an opening there. I wanted to circle back to Undertaker last night. And like in the moment, I was like kind of liking it, okay? But then I slept on it. And I woke up this morning and now I just feel like it was sad that it had to happen there in the Thunderdome. And it makes me think like Mark must be like this is just like, do you need any other like convincing that like, damn it, I should have just hung it up 3 years ago. Just like, now I'm in this stupid empty arena talking to nobody. I don't even get my like big send off, and like I've
said it before, I will say it again. That match with John Cena was where he should have ended it. That match with John Cena, he came out, it was the big money match, the only one really you could get left with someone who was under contract and healthy.
Yeah.
And not 80 high stain. Like, he came out, he did his shtick. Cena sold like a fucking Billy Mays on acid. and he came out, he looked great. Big ass tombstone, dong dong dong. That should have been it.
But as we learned from watching The Last Ride, it was like every time he had a good match, he'd get greedy for one more. And every time he'd have a bad match, he would get greedy to come back and have a good match so he didn't have the last match be the bad match. So he's like in this, that's the hard part about watching The Last Ride. He's like, he's in this endless cycle of like, I had a good match. And he's like, now I had the good match I was looking for. You know what? Maybe I can get one more. It's just like, he just keeps going and going until we end up at this point where you're just like that could.
But it's not always him.
Also, very interesting. So
the old man calls.
Yeah, the old man calls.
I
and
understand.
Of course, AJ Styles would have been a fantastic ending match as a match. Obviously, this was great. Also, I want to make a point. I listened to the new Broken Skull with him last night, and they talked about that last match, Mike. And I know you've been saying you could extend his career with this, and he's talking about how that was actually more physically taxing than doing a WrestleMania match.
But you're talking. They're talking about doing it in COVID times too.
Yeah, that's true.
They're talking about doing an outdoor shoot last minute where you don't really have a lot of time to prepare.
Yeah, last minute. He hadn't been able to hit the gym for the 3 weeks prior because everything was closed down. And didn't know this, his brother died the day before.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah. Like, I'm saying if he wanted to do one with Bray, you could film that over the course of a month. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you film.
I don't think that's going to be the production schedule, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It could be. It doesn't necessarily need to be as taxing as they needed to do in that case.
And it also doesn't have to be outside. It can be on a sound stage where it's not freezing. It's not being taped at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning, whatever.
Here's also my counter to the way that they did the Undertaker thing last night. Again, the missing of the fans kind of sucked. I wish they would have at least left, like, even they trucked all those people out there to have them disappear. That was strange to me. But they could have been I don't know. NXT feels like so much more enhanced, even by the handful of people they have mixed with the Thunderdome experience. I don't even know what they call that. I don't know how that sort of
the Capitol Wrestling Center.
Yeah. So I think like if we had some version of that for at least this moment, that it was like, hey, at least it's all those old guys hanging out and applauding him.
Telling stories and like getting.
No, not that. They didn't need to.
Stuff like that.
No, I just wanted them to be there,
I
as the audience.
I think they should have turned it into a makeshift Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, have all of them out there. Have a couple main guys tell a couple stories, like Kane, Trips.
That's
Sean and Vince.
Yeah.
And then have Vince say, and now, and he doesn't know this, being inducted into the 2020 WWE Hall of Fame, The Undertaker. And then he comes out, he does his whole spiel, everyone's clapping, they're all out there, and they're all chanting, "Thank you, Taker," so that to Tina's point, the tape chants don't feel disingenuous.
Absolutely. That's my biggest thing, that it felt disingenuous, and then they fucked it up. So there was
well,
that...
I mean, I don't think they should have even approached the Hall of Fame thing just because that's the last bullet still in the gun,
no, it's
basically.
not.
Plus,
they've got to hold that. They can hold that. They can do that in front of fans, hopefully in a year.
That's another point, and there's another point that you're going to get a big. As another point, you're going to get a big merch bump, as well. I'm noticing all the commercials tonight for Undertaker 30, right?
But then you announce like a Taker wing at the Hall of Fame. Like that cow doesn't run dry.
Where's that physical Hall of Fame happening? Is that official yet?
No.
Even less now, probably.
Yeah.
Just going to take the old WWE New York and put it in there.
Honestly, you know what they should do? They should turn the old Titan Tower when they leave into the Hall of Fame.
Ooh, I like that.
They're not going to.
No, they're not. But
I doubt they're going to, but they should.
It's like, hey, all this stuff on the walls, let's just leave it here. You know, even that damn T-Rex head in Vince's office. Let's just leave it here.
Well, no, that's his.
Vince is taking that with him. Yeah,
that's his personal property.
That's mine. That's my T-Rex head. I'm taking that with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Drew, I need my sword back.
Wow, you guys really. No wonder I do the Vince impressions on this show.
Hey, man. Hey.
Try.
Hey.
The Paul Bearer hologram.
Oh, well, wonderful.
That was
hologram might be an overstatement, but
they Tupac'd Paul Bearer in the best way.
That was weird. That was weird.
It was weird, but it was there's always been I don't know. I won't speculate on kind of like who wanted to do something like that in the backstage. It feels like Taker owes a lot to Paul Bearer and gives him a lot of credit. So it feels like maybe he wanted to do some sort of tribute to him. So
if you watch that special, The Mortician, which is a great
I need to
I did watch it, yeah.
Like all the documentaries that they've done for this 30 Days of a Dead Man, they've all been great. They've all been fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
Like, just everything. The Austin interview, the How I Met the Undertaker is a really fun little one. It's only like a half hour, but it's great. Even the Undertaker Break It Down, where he talks about a bunch of his matches, that one's fun too. Like, just everything they've released with it has been great. But
I like hearing, it has been fun like hearing Taker like actually talk about like some of his matches and like his mindset on some of these things, because there's so much around the Undertaker and there's so much in the presentation of it that the actual work when he's in the ring and doing the match kind of gets lost sometimes, of like how intelligently kind of how he operates in the ring and the decisions that he makes. And it's always interesting. It's kind of like when you listen to like Austin explain stuff, like, because in the moment when you're watching Austin, you're not thinking about the match. You're just like, Austin's here and he's kicking ass and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then you listen to Austin talk back and explain like the reasons that he's doing certain things. You're like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. It becomes so seamless that you don't even kind of recognize what's actually happening.
Absolutely. It is great to kind of see under the hood with those kinds of things. I mean, I've mentioned before, I will watch the guys on the indies like put together a match. Like, I wish I had more time just to sit and watch the process, because it's just so fascinating the how that is engineered, and of course it's something it's not our skill set. We're not in the weeds with it, right? So but, we're just fans that sort of think we know what's going on, but probably don't know shit. So
I mean,
no matter
the first step toward knowledge is admitting you don't know anything. So
that's that's basically how I live my life. So
and kind of going off that, WWE posted a reaction video to the Dragunov Walter match.
Oh,
where it's a bunch of guys watching the match.
Oh shit!
Oh, who's watching?
And they've done this several times before, but it's usually people watching their own match back and doing like commentary to it. This is superstars watching the Dragunov Walter match. And I'm talking Shawn Michaels,
Nice.
Drew,
Yeah.
Sheamus, Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, Drake Maverick, and William Regal.
Mm.
Oh, and
That's
Killian
a
Dane.
nice-
And
that's a nice
Killian
crew.
Dane. And my God. Like, it's almost better than watching the match.
So you finally have seen the match.
I have seen the match.
Okay.
I made sure I did my due diligence. I watched Dragunov and Walter this weekend. I also watched Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven Falls Count Anywhere this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I did my due diligence.
Killer Kelly, you mean?
Nope.
Wait.
Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven.
Kaylee Ray. Wait a minute.
Kaylee Ray,
Kaylee Ray.
the UK Women's Champion.
Wait. Who's the one that just left?
Tony Storm?
No. The one that just left Impact.
How the fuck should I know? They've blocked me.
Kylie Ray?
Kylie Ray.
So there's a
Smiling
Kaylee Ray
is the
and
NXT UK champion.
Kaylee Ray and Kylie Ray.
Yeah.
You're
Kaylee
right.
Ray is 3 words.
Kylie Ray is 2 words.
Yes.
Right.
She and I know her from the Warrior
Sorry,
shows.
there are 2 people signed by WWE with the name Zaya. Okay? You can't really get that confused.
You know, I never even thought about how similar those 2 names were before. Like, they're so different. But you're right.
yeah.
That's crazy that they're even getting away with that. But
I still think it's crazy that they have 2 people called Zaya.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Hey,
We
also,
don't have 2 people called Mike.
also weird
And
thing.
we have 2 mics on this show.
Yeah. Also interesting thing that we were kind of like, oh, this is fun. Taylor Hendricks has a children's book.
I need to read this.
Yes. I'm like,
I need to read this.
fantastic. Yes.
Like, good for her, because I responded to that because I've had a children's book swimming up in my old noodle for the past decade and a half.
And actually, I have some friends that put out a book. Remember, Lunchbox put out a little haiku book with some friends.
I forgot about that.
You should probably touch base with him and some friends about that. So
Okay.
that I meant to say, but I forgot what everybody's Twitter name is.
I would need an illustrator though.
Well, there's one in that crew. So, but Mike, listen, Mike. You know how many of the people in the Wrestling Mayhem show went to the Institute? We can hook you. I'm sure we can find an illustrator. Okay.
That's a very good point.
You know we have we have something called the Comic Book Pit on this network, right?
That's a good point.
And
Which you've never asked me on, by the way.
I'm not in charge of that.
Well,
and COVID happened. So
God damn COVID, you ruin everything.
remind me. We could say we could connect you. God, he's in the Slack, Mike. Mike, hold on. I'm gonna be like, hold on. I'm going in.
Well, I haven't actually written anything yet.
Hold on.
It's just been in my brain.
No, I'm just talking about getting you on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I want.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Live podcasting, folks.
We're booking it live. We're gonna book
Booking
it
it
live.
live. Oh man, but I mean, Raw, it was essentially an extended tournament tonight. Oh, and Matt, I believe you were talking yesterday with Mason's booking of Lana versus Nia in a tables match.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
think
I
that's
must
being
be 3 steps
extended.
behind here, but
I
yeah,
think
Mason.
that might be extended to a women's tag team titles tables match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, kudos to my 11-year-old son for almost immediately recognizing TLC tables. Yes, Lana and Nia Jax are gonna have a tables match. Yeah. And I'm like, of course they are. Of course they are.
He sees the patterns. He can read the matrix.
Mm-hmm. And I also think I know who's winning that match next week. The triple threat match.
Wait, where are we down to? So who are the winners again in the triple threat match?
You got Riddle, you got Keith Lee, and you got Uncle Allen.
Uncle Allen?
AJ Styles.
It feels Uncle Allen to me.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
that's like
Riddle had some backstage interaction with MVP. So I think
never ends.
I think we're getting some Riddle, some Keith Lee in the New Day versus the entire Hurt Business.
Yo, Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley was something.
It was very good.
That was very damn.
I was really worried about Lashley's ribs there for a hot second at the end.
It's like bleeding from the head. It was nuts. Can I just pull back? I don't know if it's just the Hurt Business or what. I commented last night in the chat. I was like, wow, Bobby Lashley really has kind of leaned up a little bit, hasn't he? But guys, Bobby Lashley's good. Like he's not grown worthy. He's not just like Bobby Lashley. Like it's like he's doing some good shit the last couple of months.
As long as he doesn't talk.
No, there's plenty of
talking has always been his problem.
Shelton hasn't been good at it either, and MVP can just do it for everybody.
I beg to differ. Shelton was great with his mama.
Yes, I
beg to differ.
Okay, yeah, but still, was mama doing most of the talking on that one? So I don't. Yeah, but
there were a lot of people who were groaning when they said that they were signing MVP and he was going to be back on TV.
I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like he's already elevated 3 guys.
Yep.
He's doing the work.
I remember like MVP is one of those charismatic dudes that you give the stick to. And I was like, this is good hands. I'm glad to see he's there. I don't know what you're going to do with him. And it's beyond expectations.
I'm pleased as punch to be wrong about this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm because I saw him forming a stable with Lashley. I had PTSD vibes from TNA. I'm like, oh no, this is going to be the beatdown clan all over
Cedric
again.
and Sheldon in there?
And it kind of is, but it's a much better version of it.
Man, give me Sheldon and Cedric against the New Day all day. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
just really, really good.
Yeah. Let's let them go, and that's what I feel like Raw's first week back, seeing half an episode through the fog. They're just letting people go, and I think that's good. And they're not like, oh, this match is still going. It's like, oh, this match is still going. So again, didn't get the full 3-hour experience, but I think it's on the right track there. So we'll see. I'm not groaning and looking forward to like
the only thing kind of groan worthy for me with Raw, and it's not even a groan worthy, it's they do not know what to do with Asuka as women's champion.
Apparently not.
They have no idea what to do. Which, okay, fine. But eventually you're gonna have to figure something out.
Yep.
I mean, they don't know. I mean, obviously Asuka's awesome. I think the fault lies with, you've got the rest of the division, and just about everyone else in that division has a subtle flaw, whether it be, something that still needs to be developed or something that is perceived in the backstage that they're lacking, where they're not going to go all the way with them. So you've just got all these, random ladies, they're kind of waiting for one of them to break out of the pack.
I wonder where Naomi is.
I also wonder where Naomi is.
Yeah. Unless, well, she's on the wrong show. I was going to say maybe they break her into the Samoan Dynasty situation, but I don't know about that. So I don't know. Well, on that note, we do have we are scheduled to have an Indie Mayhem show this week, so keep an eye on that this Friday, something for your holiday weekend. And I'm not going to say who until we get in the can, because it's somebody new, somebody we're not quite familiar with. So looking forward to it, though. Somebody, from the looks of it, from what I understand, has ties into WWE shop.
A lot of them.
What's that?
A lot of them.
Oh, you mean a lot of shirts? So
a lot of everything.
So hopefully we've dotted all the I's on this thing appropriately. I'll be able to say with a little more confidence on the show. I just don't like, if stuff's not in the can, I don't want to put too much out there. I'm also going to give a shout out. I believe I'm going to be going to West Virginia as safely as possible. And Conquest Pro Wrestling is going to be down there doing a show. So visiting West Virginia. Listen, I've had a good experience of quarantining across the country. We're going to be safe going down there as well. And these guys look like they're fairly responsible putting their show together. And of course, with everything going on. So everybody, please be safe this week. I hope you are making the safest decision, the right decision for you and your family for this week. And just be careful. There's some stuff going on, and wear your mask. Please wear your mask. And
don't be a dingus.
Don't be a dingus. Mad Mike.
Let me what?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Good.
Go on.
No, you.
Sometimes you got to punt Thanksgiving in order to score on Christmas.
Ayo. Yeah.
And by Christmas, you mean Easter. Anyway.
We're just have all the surrogate holidays on Easter when we're clear of all this, right? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I believe this was supposed to be over by this past Easter, Sorg.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, it was supposed to be over sometime in November. After something
anyways. No, I'm in enough trouble for that kind of stuff. So...
big.
I mean, if you're going to say stuff like that, you can't expect me to just delete that from my brain.
Yeah, that's true.
Get my hopes up.
That's true.
I really
Who do you
was
think
hoping
we are?
that it was
Matt
over.
Hardy?
What? I don't... Oh,
Delete.
I got you.
Delete.
Yes.
Delete.
Yes. Well,
This is a wrestling show.
we don't need a head injury to know that we need to leave the show right now. We'll see you guys next time. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.